Hello everyone. This is Sunday, May 9th, 2:30 p.m., 12 degrees Celsius. Today I'm walking around Dartmouth. I was just sitting down, now I'm going to stand up and start walking. And I am in front of the United Church, and I'm going to start my walk from here. It's a little bit cloudy, a little bit windy, but it's not bad overall. It's fluttering between 11 and 12 degrees. So it was 12, and then it was 11, then it was 12. So somewhere between 11 and 12 degrees here. With some wind, I'd say brings it down to about 9. So still not bad. So the weekend's flying by again. And how's the weekend going? Everybody having a good weekend this week? I hope so. Hope all goes well. I think I got to stand here and wait for a light because it's kind of risky to get out across here without the light. So I had a pretty good weekend. We didn't do much. Went out and made a video yesterday because I didn't get one done on Friday. I had an appointment Friday and took up some of my time, and I didn't do anything Friday, so I'm doing 2 days in a row today. I did yesterday, Saturday, and today, Sunday. I'm doing a video today too as well. I live on the Dartmouth side, so I thought I might as well do a video over here today. I've done a few, but we'll try to get a different angle on it if we can, and try to show something a little different each time I come downtown here. The downtown area of Dartmouth is not huge, but Dartmouth as a city is very big. You couldn't walk it. It's much too big to walk all the way around Dartmouth. But the downtown area, the old part of Dartmouth, doesn't take long to walk around that. But the other areas take quite a while, because usually you take the highway to get to some of the other points in Dartmouth. Okay. Well, I got different choices here. I'm going to walk out here. There's a lot of stuff closed down right now because we are in the one more stage to go and we'll be on complete lockdown. Right now, all you can do, you can go through a drive-through. You can walk into the donut shops and buy a coffee, but there's no sitting down. You can walk in and get it and come out. The last stage is they keep the drive-through open, but you can't even go inside to get it then. So we're one stage away from that, and it makes it kind of bad because sometimes they close up the coffee shops and then there's nowhere to go to the washroom, which is a problem for people out walking around a few hours at a time and maybe drinking a couple of coffees. And then if you don't have a place to go to the washroom, that could be a problem. But we'll see how it all goes. I know the people around here, for the most part, are being real careful. They're wearing their masks and they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're keeping their distance. And so, for the most part, we're really trying to bring the numbers down. And I hope we can. I hope we can get the numbers down because we're trying. It's not because we're not trying. And we don't go anywhere. We just go home, and I go out like to do my videos, but I'm not with anybody. I'm not socializing. I'm just walking by myself. So that's how it is. We just hope that the numbers come down with these restrictions, and as more people get vaccinated. I got my first one done, but I'm waiting. I can't go for the second one till August. I got my date set up, and it's August. But at least I got one. That's some help, I guess. Well, I stopped at the coffee shop before I started this walk. You see, I got my trusty Tim Hortons. I met a few fellow YouTubers online down in New York, and so I gotta give them a little shout out my friends in New York that I've been talking to. And it's funny, I go by Halifax Walker, and there's one that's called New Walker, and there's another one called New York Walker. And I don't know how many more. I didn't even know anybody used that when I picked that name in Halifax. I just thought it sounded pretty good because Walker is like a last name as well, so it's got a nice ring to it. And I guess there's a few people thought that. So anyway, my friends in New York, fellow walkers, say hello to you guys. And I know for a fact you can get Tim Hortons in New York. There's not very many places where you can get it, but I think you can get it at the airport and a few other tourist places where there'll be a lot of Canadians coming through. You can get it a few places. So if you've never tried Tim Hortons, you can look them up and see if there's any in New York still. There used to be. I think they're up at the airport or right around that area there with the Tim Hortons. So check it out. It becomes a real habit. I know you guys like your Dunkin' Donuts down there. And I gotta say, I think Dunkin' Donuts tastes better than Tim Hortons donuts. But I think the Tim Hortons coffee tastes better than the Dunkin' Donuts coffee. So let's see what you guys say. If you can find a Tim Hortons anywhere, give it a shot and see how it compares. We'll just have a little contest here, okay? And we don't have any Dunkin' Donuts in Nova Scotia. When I lived in Ontario, there was a time we had Dunkin' Donuts in Ontario, in Toronto, and they all closed down for some reason, which I don't know why, but they did. They closed down the Dunkin' Donuts in Toronto. But anyway, there's a good little contest. We could give it a try. See how Tim Hortons coffee stacks up against Dunkin' Donuts. Well, I'm walking around some back streets in downtown Dartmouth today, just looking at some stuff back here instead of going up the main street. I'm going to wind up the same way in the end, but we're just doing a little bit different today. I hear a siren going in the background there. Well, let's get down this way. Now, how about our American friends? Are you watching hockey? Because I'm a die-hard Toronto fan. And I know we got a lot of Montreal fans here in Halifax as well. And some Boston fans too. But if you're watching hockey, I hope your team is doing well. May or may not be, but Toronto is the top of our league right now. We are the best team in our league. So that's something to be said. And right as of a game or two ago, we have clinched our spot in the playoffs. So don't matter what now happens, whether we lose the rest, we'll still be in the playoffs. So that is good. I'm just going to sit right here for a minute. I'll tell you where I'm at first. I started off at a United Church, and look, I'm at the Grace United Church now. So there's a lot of United Church folk in Halifax, I guess. So anyway, I'm going to set my coffee down here for a second. And I got to show you my Toronto Maple Leaf things that I'm wearing, if you're interested. Okay? And I want to adjust my microphone again anyway. So, if you can see my shirt, I'm going to pull my mask up over my face, and I'm going to put my microphone down here. A little bit different than it was. Okay? So, I got to undo my jacket. Whoops, I got to turn my phone around first before you be able to see anything. Here we go. I'm all ready for the playoffs. Look, my Maple Leaf mask and my Maple Leaf sweater. I hope that will bring me some good luck during the playoffs. So, what do you say to that, huh? Okay, enough about hockey and enough about the Maple Leafs. And I know we got a lot of Montreal fans living here in Halifax. Because every time I wear my sweater out, I run into a Montreal fan. And they're very happy to tell me that they're Montreal fans. And why am I wearing that ugly sweater? And, but I can tell you, it's all in fun. It's not angry. It's all in fun. I know it is because the people in Nova Scotia are like that. Are friendly here. And they wouldn't hold that against me because I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. So, I'm a little concerned my microphone is pointing right into the wind. I'd like to fix that a little bit if I can. So I'm going to just stop here for a second and see if I can put my microphone somewhere where it won't be quite as much in the wind. Maybe just a little bit, but not too much. So I'm going to try my best. Don't know how it'll work. I haven't got a shirt underneath this to pin it to, so I have to just pin it onto my jacket, but the wind is blowing right into it. It does have a windscreen, but okay, I'll put it up a little higher, and that way at least my voice will be talking into it. I'll try to turn it around. Whoops, sorry. I'll turn it around so it's facing out of the wind. There we go. I think I've got it. That's about as good as I can get it, because I don't have a lapel on my hockey sweater. So, but I think we're not too bad right here. All right, so down Dartmouth. It's a little windy out here, but that's okay. Now we're gonna wait for these cars to go by, and then we'll go. I didn't realize the 62 bus went up the street, so it does. How about that, eh? I think he's making a turn. All right. Well, I waited as long as I humanly possible, so when this car goes, I'm going to walk across the street. Okay? Because I waited quite a while. Now I need to get going. All right. I got to show you something interesting over here. Halifax is full of hills. We have a lot of steep hills here, and I got to show you a couple that's quite interesting. When we first moved here, and we came down over this hill, we're going, whoa, that's a steep hill. We never had anything like that up in Toronto. So, for any of my new viewers that haven't been used to me talking and ranting along here, this July I have been in Halifax for 3 years. Before that I lived in Toronto for 15 years in Toronto. So just if I make references to Toronto quite often, that's why, because I lived up there a long time. Actually, half my life was spent in Ontario. Wasn't all in Toronto, but I lived in other areas up there before. I call it in my other life when I was married to somebody else. That was my other life. So in my former life, I lived in Ontario as well. So there's one steep hill that you come down over. You go up over that one, and you come down over the one in here. It's a one-way street right there. So you go up over the hill that way, and we'll walk it around here. You're not allowed to drive a car in through this way because it's one way. And I'll see if I can find that steep hill to show you where you come down over. You come down that hill, you better have your brakes ready. And I wouldn't take it in a snowstorm. If it was like really slippery, I wouldn't take that road because it's very steep. I'm going to try to find it because I never walked to it and I never come into it from this way. So I'm going to try to find that road. We'll walk up to this path. I got a feeling that might take us up there. I'm just looking at stuff we never went on before, so this is a different experience. Here we are. We're on the not the side of Alderney near the water, but the opposite side of Alderney. But we're taking some side streets, okay? And just to see what's up there and show you something a little different. Steep hills are good for you though. They keep your blood pumping and keep your body healthy if you do a lot of walking on steep hills. You can just get a look at how steep some of these streets are right here. That one there, we were just down there. That's the one we was looking up at. And it's pretty steep going down, but that's not the one I was talking about. I don't think. Because I think that was the one way, that one we came down. However, I could be mistaken. We'll walk up and see. My wife and my son knows twice much about Halifax as I do. We've all been here the same amount of time. And my son doesn't even drive. And he knows it better than I do. I'm not sure why that is. But that's how it is. Okay, I think the steep hill might be, let's see. Well, that's pretty steep right there. You can see down that hill there, that's pretty steep. Maybe that's the one he's talking about, but I don't think so. I think there's another one. Yeah, there's several of them anyways. If I don't see another one, well, that one's pretty steep. So that's a little bit different road than we've taken previously walking through Dartmouth. These are just back streets of downtown. I see that one over there. It's called Church Street. I wouldn't have known that. I didn't even know where Church Street was, but now I do. Okay, I think that steep hill one is up here, but I could be wrong. If not, then we'll see it another day, but might be down here. There's some steep hills in this park right here too. We could walk up there and come back down. Might do that. Let's see, how long have I been rambling on here? 12 minutes, that's not long. That's pretty good. Still got my coffee, about half gone. And I made a video last week and it turned out I got a lot of good comments on it. I sat in one spot and just talked for 45 minutes, had my coffee, and I just pretended that the people I were talking to were sitting there having coffee with me. And it was fun. I had a ball doing that, and I gotta say, it was quite an experience, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And my followers who watched that video gave me a lot of good comments on it. Said they really enjoyed it as well. So one day we'll do another one. I'll find another nice spot to sit. I was sitting in front of the library on Spring Garden Road when I did that one. And one day we'll try that again somewhere. Okay, we'll cut down through this little walkway right here. This is called Park Avenue oh, this is a community oven. Not sure about that. I know they do have a cremation center up here, but I don't think that's it there. But they do have one. I think it's up there, up that way somewhere. If I see it, I'll show it to you. I know last year it caught fire and burnt. So I'm not sure if they must have got it fixed by now. And I'm not sure what this little park is called right here. If I see a sign, I'll pass it on. This is beautiful in here. You can look out across the harbor. You can see the city over there. Part of it's down there. Can't get a real good view because there's trees in the way, but we will when we get down here a little better. Yes, this is absolutely a beautiful place up in here. So I never came in here before, and if I can find the name of this little park, I got to tell you, I'll tell you where it is, and then if you want to come here, it's not hard to find. For those people living in Halifax or you're new here, you just come, take Alderney like you're going to the ferry terminal, keep right on going and go up the hill like going towards Wise Road that way, and part way up the hill you'll see this park area in here with the steep walkways and things. That's where it is. And it's absolutely beautiful in here. The sun's popping out every now and then. I hope it will come out and stay out and be a nice sunny day today. That would be nice. I'll stop up here. We'll take a look across at the city from here. Okay? Might even zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to set my coffee down. There we go. Hopefully the ants don't get in it. We have a lot of ants in Halifax. All right, here we go. We'll zoom it up and see what we can see of the city from here. And the harbor. The harbor is impressive too. We got one of the deepest natural harbors of any seaport in the world. There might be one or two right up there with us, but we got one of the deepest. The big ships can drive right up to the docks, and the water is deep. So no trouble bringing in big container ships and oil tankers and things like that. All right, I've got to bring my lens back down more to where I am now. There we go. Now, if the ants haven't taken over my coffee, I'll finish it. Even if they're in there, I think I'll drink it anyway. All right, now let's see. I really would like to know the name of this park so I could tell you the name of it, but right now I don't know what it is. There could be a sign up here somewhere. But anyway, we can enjoy our walk. If you look straight through there, you can see the Mcdonald Bridge. I'll try to zoom it up, okay? Right straight through where I'm looking, you can see the Mcdonald Bridge. Okay, zoom it up, see if we can see it. There it is. There's the Mcdonald Bridge right through there. A lot of trees and stuff in the way, but yeah, that's probably about 1 kilometer away where I'm looking at right there. All right. Here we go, up the steep hill. Again, more steep hills. So as I was saying, I changed my course of thought there, but I was telling you about my video where I sat in one spot and did a video. It's kind of, I like doing kind of crazy things sometimes because you never know how it'll go and people will like it or not, but turned out they did. I got a lot of people liked it and made comments and things on it, and so one day we'll do another one. We find just the right spot. I'm going to go down under the hill now because it's windy up here. The higher up you go, the windier it is. But this is a nice park for exercise because it's all hills. But not really a whole lot here. There's places to sit. And there's a gazebo up there. And there's some of these chairs and seats along the way. But it's great exercise just walking through here. This is like a shortcut up to Wise Road. You cut up through here, Well, you can see the cars up there. That's where you join, just up the street there, you join Wise Road. So, if you go up that way, it's a little bit longer. You can cut right through the park and save a few steps, but you're going to earn them because you got to walk up steep hills. So, that's the trade-off. It's quicker but steeper. I see one of the ferries out there in the water. Let's zoom up there and have a look at that. Where, whoops, it's harder to focus when you're zoomed up. It takes that's one of the ferries that takes you across the harbor, right there. Okay, so I'm quite a ways from it, so it's difficult to get a good look, but all right. Here's the sign. I think it has to do with they don't clean the snow from these stairs. No winter maintenance. Use at your own risk. You can walk through here in the winter, but they don't clean the stairs and they don't put salt down and all that. So if you walk on it, you might slip, but you might not. I'm walking the stairs right now in case you wonder why this is a little jerky. I'm walking down stair steps. There we go. If I don't stop talking and start drinking, my coffee's going to be cold. It's almost cold now. I think I can finish it off, but it's not very warm. That's why I like summer better. You can buy a coffee and walk around and you can take your time and it doesn't get cold on you. But it's not real warm today, the wind's blowing, so don't take much to cool it down. I'll water the lawn with the rest of it. We'll just use it to water the grass. Okay. Now we are back downtown Dartmouth again, almost on the waterfront here now. The Dartmouth side of the waterfront is not like the Halifax side. They have a lot of tourist attractions over there and a lot of things, places to eat and places to buy different things and places to buy keepsakes from Halifax, stuff like that, tourist kind of things. Well, they think this is what they call the Dartmouth Commons, maybe. So, not sure. But I think it is. This is rules for the park, yeah. So this is called the Dartmouth Commons. That's what this place is called. And they got some rules here about keeping your dog. You can allow your dog off the leash in some places, but you must carry the leash. And dogs must not interfere with park users. Just basically rules about the dogs. Okay, so yeah, so this is the Dartmouth Commons. I wanted to know the name of this, and that's what it is. And you'll see the gates aren't as impressive as they are over in the city, the park over there. They're much more impressive. But no, this is called the Layton Dillman Park. There, we finally got it now. The Layton Dillman Park. That's what this place is called. So it said Dartmouth Commons too, so it might have two names. I'm not sure. So you can see right here, this is called the Dartmouth Commons, but up there it says the Layton Dillman Park, and on this side it says the Layton Dillman Park. So now we know the name of the park, okay? Layton Dillman Park, Dartmouth Common. Oh, both. It's both. Layton Dillman Park, Dartmouth Common. There we go. We've got that settled down. Okay, gotta be a good resident and put my coffee cup in the trash can where it belongs. I never leave those things laying around. I always, if I have to carry it for 2 or 3 blocks, that's what I do. I carry it, put it in the can. I don't like litter. I really don't like it at all. So, that's my little rant about litter. Okay, so catch this one more time. Layton Dillman Park, Dartmouth Commons. Okay, so there's part of it that's called the Layton Dillman Park, and the whole thing is called the Dartmouth Commons. That's how I interpret that. All right, so we'll make our way across towards the water. We'll go this way as soon as I can. There's no crosswalk here, so I might have to walk up to the crosswalk and then go across, I guess, would be my preferred route. Then maybe we'll walk down by the harbor, spend some time there. It's always great, just spending some time down around the harbor. Waterfront? Oh yeah, I got off course there. I was telling you the difference in our waterfront in Dartmouth and the waterfront in Halifax. Our waterfront doesn't have all the stuff you got over in Halifax, but we've got other things that make it better in ways. The ferry terminal is kind of like a central point of the waterfront, and a lot of people go in the ferry terminal. They have public washrooms in there. The ferry terminal is owned by the city, the Transit Corporation of the city, Halifax Transit. So it's open to public, and anybody wants to go in there to the washroom, you can go in the ferry terminal and use the washroom. And there's a variety store in there. There's a Tim Hortons, and there's also another coffee shop that sells sweets and stuff at the other end of the ferry terminal. And there's a library in there. So there's lots of stuff right there in that area. And if you buy something to eat or drink, and you want to go out and sit by the water and watch it, and have your food and watch the waterfront, there's lots of benches to sit down out there. I find it extremely relaxing to go down and sit by the waterfront and watch the boats coming and going, and sometimes you'll see big container ships come in, and the oil tankers don't usually come up here because their unloading spot is way down the other end of the harbor there, so they don't come up this way. But sometimes the containers do, because we have actually 2 container terminals here in Halifax. One is down that way, and the other one is up there. So we have 2 spots to unload containers. So they'll come up through here. And you'll see a lot of military ships because the Navy's here. And also, the Irving shipyard is over there, and that's where they've been building the frigates for the Arctic. So they're working on those. Been a big contract, keeping a lot of people working. And very good jobs. If you're working in there, the Irving shipyard, it's a very good paying job and good place to be. And sometimes they run out of contracts for a while and there's no work, so they get laid off. But most, they have been working steady for quite a while now on these frigates that are going to be, they're icebreakers for the Arctic, and they're going to belong to the Navy to protect Canada's north, because there are people who would like to get in there. They know there's a lot of wealth up there, and they would love to get in there and not only that, but to make a route for freight across the north, because the ice is melting now from global warming, and you can actually go around the top instead of just the bottom route. There's a north route, so that's another one of the things that's causing, like, countries like Russia, mainly, has got their eye on Canada's north. So that's why we got these frigates built, these ice-breaking battleships that's going up to the north to patrol the Arctic waters from people who would do us harm. And also, Alaska's up there as well, and some people might try to smuggle from Alaska to Northwest Territories and Yukon. So you always get that issue of smuggling, and people coming back and forth that shouldn't be. So yeah, there's those issues. But the biggest threat is Russia trying to sneak into the north. Well, I'm in front of the ferry terminal right now, and I'm going to put my mask all the way up for now because when I'm talking, I usually just put it down under my nose, kind of on my chin, when there's nobody around me. But when there's people around me, I'm more careful then. I pull my mask up. I try to stay away from people as much as I can because until this virus is over. So this place is called Alderney Gate, where the ferry terminal is. And you can see, let's see, somebody, a friend of mine, which I haven't met personally. She lives in Halifax. Her name is Jenny. So, hi Jenny. I'm just walking around doing a video when I saw because I subscribed to your channel as well, and I saw something come up there that you had a video. So, we'll check it out later. Right now I'm walking around doing a video. I'm downtown Dartmouth by the ferry terminal. So, Jenny is a friend of mine which I haven't met, but we have a mutual friend in Ontario, and so I consider her a friend as well. One day maybe we'll meet, but right now the COVID thing is on and you don't really want to meet anybody, and they probably don't either, so we'll just leave it at that for now. And she's my YouTube friend. I know she's on Facebook, but I mostly, I do my chatting on YouTube. To most people who talk to me knows that I'm on Facebook, but I don't really use it all that much, and I'm not a big Facebook user. I'm on there, but if you're trying to reach me, your chances of reaching me on Facebook I might get back to you in a month. Okay, so don't try to reach me on Facebook. It'd be a waste of time. And I'm not even sure why I have Facebook, because I don't really use it much. I do talk to my old boss up in Ontario and his wife, and all the people that worked at the company where I worked. I talk to them sometimes, and that's always good to stay in touch with my fellow co-workers in the company where I used to work. I don't think they'd mind me saying I worked for a trucking company called Rocket Freight, and I'll put in a good plug for them because I was there about 15 years, and I never once thought of going to another company because they were so good. They used me really good, and I just can't say enough about Rocket Freight. It was a really good company to work for, and if you slipped up on something, well, it wasn't the end of the world. I mean, it wasn't great, but they wouldn't. You'd never get fired, that's for sure. They put up with me. They'll put up with anybody. You won't get fired working for Rocket Freight unless you do something dishonest. If you steal from the company, you'll get fired. But other than that, now if you just made a mistake and broke something, or forgot something, or messed something up some way, you still have your job. But I tried to make up for my errors by going the extra mile for the company when I was working there. I did a lot of stuff nobody even knew I did. I think word got out after a while that I was doing it, but I'd come in there in the morning an hour early, and I go around and check the trailer, check all the tires, make sure there was no flats, and sometimes there was a flat on a trailer that was going out. And I'd call my boss and tell him this trailer's got a flat tire and it's all loaded. It's going somewhere, but it's got a flat tire. And he'd send a tire guy down and get it all fixed. By the time the driver came in for it, they were fixing the tire. Things like that. So I did a lot of that kind of stuff for the company. And I think they know it. I think they know. People told them. They see me down there checking things over and doing things. So I'm pretty sure they were aware of what I did, because when I left, they used me really good. Had a party for me and we had food and all kinds of stuff, and they used me really good when I departed. And it wasn't that I wanted to, but I was past my retirement age, so I just decided I wanted to get out, come back to the East Coast and enjoy life while I'm still in good health and able to enjoy life, rather than wait until I get too old and then wish I would have, and full of regrets because I didn't go sooner. And so that's why I left. Anyways, I'm right here now on the waterfront, looking across at the city, which I love. I love the city. From the bottom of my heart, I love Halifax. And it is a wonderful place. Okay, let's see. Something's, there we go. Okay, I'm zooming it up a little bit so I can see the harbor and everything here. All right, so we just go around it here, and you can see there's several construction cranes in the sky over there, and there's a lot of things being built here. It's really growing. That skyline over there where those empty holes are soon going to be filled up with buildings. There's a lot of stuff being built. And there's the bridge. We have two bridges here. We have the Angus Mcdonald, which is that one right there in the background. And then we have the Mckay Bridge. Mckay Bridge is wider, and you can take tractor trailers on that. This one here is for cars. Buses can go on it, but you can't even take a 1-ton truck on it. You can take half tons, and that's it. If you got a box on it, you might be able to take a 1-ton if it was didn't have a box, but you can't take a 1-ton truck on it with a box. So, and you can't take any bigger trucks on there. So that's, my wife drives a 1-ton for a courier company, and she has to go all the way around to the other bridge because you're not allowed to drive on that bridge with a truck. Okay, I'm zooming back out by Halifax. There you go. Now let's walk up this little. This is like a pier. It is a pier. I'm getting all tongue-tied. The Dartmouth terminal is right there for the ferry. That's it right there. The Wooden Monkey was a restaurant, but it's not running because of the virus, and so it was a restaurant that was there, and a lot of people came across on the ferry and went there. It was kind of like a bar restaurant. Anyways, you get a look at one of our ferry boats up north, up close. This is not it here. This is a private boat. This is somebody else's private boat that's parked here. This is the Halifax Transit Ferry. I think they like to have one in use here in case they need it, because the one they're driving could break and something happened, then they take this one and put it into use. There's one over on the other side right now at the terminal. And there's two destinations from that terminal. There's Dartmouth and there's Woodside, which is, might as well say it's Dartmouth too, but it's two different terminals, the downtown Dartmouth and Woodside. And I'm getting a lot of wind up here and a few sprinkles of rain, so we're going to go the other way again, where it's a little more sheltered, just in case. I don't want to get rained on. I didn't bring my umbrella, and it wouldn't do much good anyway, because Halifax is always windy usually. You get a few days when there's no wind, but that's not too many. It's a windy city. So if you ever come to Halifax, the temperatures are good, but the wind sometimes puts a chill on things because there's a lot of wind here. There's always wind blowing here. I won't say always, but let's say 75% of the time the wind's blowing here. I seen a ship out there on the water. I don't know if it's coming down this way or where it's going, but there's a ship out there on the water now. Too far away to really get a look, but I'm not sure what it is, but it's coming this way, I think. It's going behind that island. You can see where the tide goes when the tide's in by the stains on the rocks here. That's how high the tide is when it's in. So right now the tide is out. It's pretty much low tide right now. Wow, I've been 42 minutes walking around and talking. This is pretty good, but I'm going to try to get out of the wind a little bit, because hope you're not getting wind in this mic. It does have a windscreen, but they can only do so much. So I'm hoping that the wind isn't too bad with my microphone. I'm going to cut my hand around a little bit, just try to make it a little better. Well, we had a little bit of sunshine today, but now not so much. Well, I'm going to go in the ferry terminal shortly here and see what's open. I know that last time when the pandemic was under the full lockdown, they closed down the Tim Hortons in there on the weekends. They were open through the week, but on the weekends they were closed. So I don't know about this year, if it's still open or if it's closed in there. But maybe I'll take a walk in and see, just to see. But we'll just browse around out here a little bit first. And actually, this little park right here is called Ferry Terminal Park. We got a lot of little parks around. And this is Ferry Terminal Park. Let's just walk down. Maybe we'll get a look at that ship that was coming around the island there. If it happens to come up this way, we'll get a better look at it. So a little sprinkle of rain, but I don't think it's going to hurt my phone. It's not really rained enough to hurt my phone yet. I'm going to put my mask up because somebody's coming here, pushing a little baby, and I don't want to meet them with my mask down.
Just up here. No one's
So I saw a ship go behind that island, but I didn't see it come back out the other side. But we might get a look at it, maybe. All right, I'm gonna pull my mask back down now. I know it's hard to talk. This mask I'm wearing today it's a 3-layer cloth mask, and it's got inserts. I bought some inserts to put in it, and if you put those in, the inserts are 3 layers. So I'm talking through 6 layers. I got three compressed layers that you stick in that little slot, and then 3 layers of cloth. So that's a lot of layers to talk out through. But I figure I'm going to be quite safe with a mask like that on. Here's a little playground area for small kids. And it's got one of those sponge places to walk, so if you fall, you won't feel the road. You won't feel the pavement. Like right here where I'm walking now, this stuff, it's all sponge. It pushes down, so if the kids fall off of one of these things, they won't get hurt too much because it's nice and soft. I gotta soon get out of the rain and end this video because I don't know how much rain's coming. There is some blue sky over there. I can see blue sky, but we don't have any here. All right, that boat is behind that island. I don't think we're going to see it, so I won't even try. So we'll walk right around this way, I guess, and head back towards the ferry terminal. You can see the city in the background. Now what you see when you look across at the city is not the whole city. That's downtown. But it actually goes, there's a hill right in the middle of the city. It's Citadel Hill. And you can't see over that hill. So there's a lot of city on the other side of that hill, but you can't see it from here. All you can see is what's on this side of the hill. Where those cranes are is on the other side of the hill. But you can't see too much for buildings there yet, but maybe you will when they get those buildings up. You'll probably see some of them then. But most of the stuff what you see is on this side of the hill. And I better walk faster because the rain is starting to pick up a little bit. Woo, and the wind is blowing. So I better head for cover because we're going to get our equipment wet here if I don't get out of the rain. So I'm going to walk fast now and try to protect my stuff from the rain. It's starting to pick up a little bit. So I may have to get under cover for a while and let the rain blow over before I try to go home. I could call my wife, come pick me up, but I think I'll just walk and not bother her. And it's Mother's Day today. Isn't that nice? So we celebrated Mother's Day with my wife, my son, just one, and I know she got a big cake there that we got her, and I'm just waiting to get into that when I get home. So, and some ice cream too. So I know we're going to have cake and ice cream tonight. And wow, that storm is really whipping up here. There's a lot of wind now, and the rain is starting to come down. But I got a nice little spot I can go to get out of the rain over here at the ferry terminal. That's probably where I'll end my video once I get in under that sheltered spot. Like, I don't think it's going to get I'm not in really danger of anything getting too wet yet, but I don't like to get it wet either. So in my backpack, I put all my things in plastic bags. I put them in the case that they came in, and then I put them in plastic bags in case I get caught in the rain. Even if my backpack gets soaked, my equipment won't get wet because it's in a case, and the case is in plastic bags. So that way I'm pretty well protected. I'm not worried about the rain. So we'll go in under here, and I can see now I'm under a roof. And I won't be worried about the rain anymore now because I'm under the roof. So here we are now. I'm going to stand right here. And there. Okay, what do you want for background? I'm gonna turn it around the other way, and I'll stand facing with my back to the city, and I'll put it this way and sign off. Okay. So there we are. I'll get my mic up here where you can see what I'm talking into. That little mic right there. Okay. So here we are at the Dartmouth waterfront. It's all Halifax, but this is across the harbor. So at Dartmouth waterfront, looking over at the city of Halifax behind me. And I'm going to sign off at this point because I've been walking around doing a nice video. And look what I see coming. I see a guy doing a video I think. It looks like he was carrying a camera. Well, how about that? So, anyways, if you like this video, don't forget to push that like button and let me know you like this video. And if you haven't become a subscriber yet, subscribe and you'll get all the latest videos that come out. I got somewhere around 70, 75 videos maybe, and you'll see them all. You become a subscriber. I'm sure you can find them on YouTube there. And so on that note, bye for now. You'll have a great weekend, and we'll chat later. Bye.